One of the most popular card games in recent years is Cards Against Humanity. It's basically apples to apples for adults, or as the box reads, a party game for horrible people. If you haven't heard of it or played it, it's really simple. One person's a judge, picks up a black card, reads it out loud, usually has a fill in the blank, and plays it face up. All other players get some white cards, choose whichever they feel best fills in the blank, plays it face down. After everyone's done that, the judge grabs all the white cards, shuffle them, decides who is the best, picks that person's card, whoever played it gets the black card, and then a new judge is selected. And it keeps going until you guys decide to stop. Whoever has the most black cards at the end wins! Now, I personally don't like Cards Against Humanity for various reasons. One main reason is that this game is offensive and it knows it. It's not a game I want to use to introduce people to card games. If they're not used to stereotypical or taboo humor, they can be uncomfortable and find the game quite unpleasant. Now, if you enjoy Cards Against Humanity, that's fine. Hell, if my friends want to play Cards Against Humanity, I'll indulge myself as well. I'm not here to say it's bad. I'm here to review a good alternative, which is this game, The Metagame. The Metagame was created by a company known as Local Number 12. The entire game comes in this nice and compact box. Open it up and you have all the instructions along with the cards that come with the base set. Now, there are two types of cards. The ones with the topic on them, known as the opinion cards, and the ones with the subject on them, known as the culture cards. These have pop culture references on them, such as leg warmers, the internet, World of Warcraft, the metagame, and so on and so forth. They all have short flavor text and some really simple art, which makes it pretty nice. Now, upon first glance, the metagame looks very similar to Cards Against Humanity. But once you delve deeper, yeah, it actually sort of is, but at the same time, different. The metagame comes with 6 different game types inside the box. I'm only going to be talking about 2 of them. The first one is matchmakers, and this is my least favorite game type. It's a good opener, it's a good way to start your board game night, but there's very little player interaction compared to the other game types. It's also the one that's most similar to Cards Against Humanity. The main difference is that every player gets a opinion card played face up in front of them. Each player also gets 5 culture cards, and all at the same time, players have to place their culture cards face down on whatever they feel matches the opinion cards best. Players then take turns judging which culture cards matches their opinion cards best. The winner of that card gets all the cards, the culture and opinion cards. And then about after 3 rounds of that, whoever has the most cards wins. Now, I don't know if it's the oversaturation of games that are trying to mimic apples to apples and add a small twist, but this game type just seems dull. I mean, it has some of the same problems I have with Cards Against Humanity and apples to apples. After the judge makes their decision, then all players go, "Oh, why didn't you choose like Gone with the Wind? It's so funny, ha ha ha." Once again, that's after the decision has been made, which is why my favorite game type is Debate Club. Just realized I'm gonna need all these cards. As you can guess by the name, Debate Club is all about arguing for your cards. One person is the critic and draws 3 opinion cards, picks one and reads it out loud. Meanwhile, all other players draw 5 culture cards. They pick one they feel best matches, place it face down in front of them, and after everyone's done that, they go around one by one arguing that their card is the best. Critic then chooses who has the best argument and who has the worst. If you have the worst, you're out. Everyone else, refresh your hand and play again. Last man standing wins. I really like this game type because you actually have to argue that your card is the best, or at least not the worst. It really makes you think about all the cards in your hand. Should I go a more serious approach or a comedic route? And yeah, sometimes you won't have any good cards, so you're going to have to pull something out of your ass. But as long as someone does a worse job or has a worse card, you're still in. And what's even greater about this game type is that even if you get called out, you don't just leave. You actually still have a job. You join the critics and have to debate with the other critics on who has the best and worst argument. It's honestly a little impressive about how long these silly arguments will go for. Like, what's pure evil? Comic Sans or Walmart? Now, you're probably getting a good idea of what the metagame's about. Most of the game types have arguing and debating. And you're also probably thinking to yourself, well, why should I get the metagame if I can do most of these games in Cards Against Humanity? Which, fair point there. You can do most of these game types in Cards Against Humanity, with the exception of History 101. The only reason you can't do that game is because the metagame actually has dates on their flavor text. Cards Against Humanity don't. The metagame also has a problem that Cards Against Humanity also has. And that's, if you don't know Western pop culture or Western trivia, you're screwed. I mean, the flavor text does help, but most of the game is about arguing, and you'll have trouble coming up with the arguments. So, yeah, you're screwed. Even the expansions are about Western film and sci-fi. There's no real way to fix that issue other than play with people who have experience in Western pop culture and pop trivia. However, there are two reasons you should get the metagame. The first reason, as I said earlier, it's not as taboo or as horrible as Cards Against Humanity. The humor comes from the people you decide to play with. If they enjoy that type of humor, they can still make those type of jokes. The important thing is that all of you are enjoying the experience of playing the game. Personally, I had a lot more memorable experiences with the metagame than I did with Cards Against Humanity, because it just got silly. I mean, try debating on which is more loved by pirates, the New York Times or Wizard of Oz. There was a time a friend of mine just made a presidential speech on why the Wonder Brawl was more style than substance. It ended with the hashtag #LetThemTittiesBeFree. I found it hilarious that he actually put some serious thought into this, while another friend just laughed because the word tit was said. The second reason you want to get the metagame is you don't just get the metagame, you get ideas on how to play it. I mean, I would never have thought of these game types until the metagame introduced them to me. And they don't restrict you to these rules. They actually encourage you to try to create a variant or different ways to play the metagame. They have an entire page on different variants you could do. Like, go for speed in matchmakers. Everyone tried to play their cards as quickly as possible. If you are left holding the last card, you don't get to play it. Or get weird, like in Debate Club. Do it with interpretive dance. I wonder how dumb that would look. A lot. It looked a lot stupid. Was it fun? For a while. Did it work out? Not really. But that's fine, you know. Things don't work out that well the first time. Try to find different ways. Improve it. So if you're looking for a game that encourages you to be silly and encourages you to try to find new ways to play it, I recommend the metagame. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. You can also follow me on social media. If you want to see some more videos right now, you can click the annotation for my humorous adventure through the game Amazing Island. It wasn't that amazing. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.